Come on in, sit next to me. Tell me how you been and spill a little tea. Share a happy grin and let your mind go free. Everybody wins, keep it light and carefree. It's just a thoughtful exchange. We're engaging our brains about the arts here in town. Get the word going round. So come on in, sit next to me, and sip a little Fort Dodge tea. Fort Dodge tea, a thoughtful exchange about the arts. Thanks for dropping by.
We're back. It's FDT episode 21, and this is fun. It's another first for me. Go figure. There's a lot of firsts for me on this podcast. So if you guys if you're first time to the podcast, go listen to some of the old episodes. But for now, stick around because we've got a couple of new people on the podcast
and a new organization.
Nice. So who do we got?
So I'm probably going to screw up this title. I practiced it a million times. Catherine Vincent Deardorf Foundation. Charitable Foundation. Dang it. I was so close. Is who we're highlighting today. Nice. And a couple of the board members with them. When you think about arts and culture in Fort Dodge, you think of two huge entities in our community, and this foundation is definitely one of them. Mm-hmm. We couldn't do what we do without this organization as well. Yeah,
the pre-recording banter that I was hearing you guys talk about, it's pretty wild how impactful it's been. So I can't wait to get into it.
So we are going to dive in, but first I would like each of you to introduce yourselves and your role in the foundation, and if there have been other organizations in the community that you've been a part of, whenever. Longevity. Your resume.
Oh, my resume. Great.
No. We don't want all that.
Okay. I'm Jennifer Condon. I am a native to Manson, married into the Condon Barnum family. And my husband and I have lived in Fort Dodge since 2013. But I've worked at Iowa Central since the 1900s.
You love saying that.
I love saying that.
Ouch. That hurts me.
Right? That's just how long I've been there, since 1995. My family was really more a small farm, a small business. We had a bar and restaurant in Manson called the Back 40. We owned Deer Creek Golf Club. So that took up most of my outside time from work. And then just at Iowa Central, I moved up through positions. Finally, I was the department chair over the art department, and just got more acclimated to what they did, what they brought to the college, and learned more and more. I was part of the International Focus Series that Dr. Mary Sulalini would help with and put on. And then in April 2017, Jane and Maureen took me out for lunch and introduced me to this foundation, and just wanted to know what I thought, if I was a fit. And ever since then, I've been to those meetings, given away lots of dollars.
Yep.
And that also allows me to be on the Public Art Commission with the City of Fort Dodge. So that's my most direct involvement in the community.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a big list.
There's always a list. There's always a list with these people.
It's wild.
Always.
She was a fit.
Yeah. Is.
Jane Gibb, Fort Dodge. I think my resume is shorter. I'm a past member of the board of the Catherine Vincent Deardorf Charitable Foundation. Actually, I took Mrs. Deardorf's place on the board in 1994. I remained on the board for 30 years. So I've been retired from that entity for 2 years. I served on the Iowa Arts Commission for the state of Iowa for 7 years, back in the days when it had money and made grants. Those days are long gone. It's changed enormously. But it did give me an opportunity to see what other cities around the state were doing in public art and other ways, and to meet people, one of whom became very important to us. That's Lynette Pullman, who is just retiring after a long career as director of museums at Iowa State University, and maybe later we'll talk about the fact that she provided a lot of guidance for our group as we started to look into public art and how to find artists, how to handle the whole process. I was before I left the board, first chairman, actually, of our little public art commission here in Fort Dodge. I think that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to ask you, what was the first piece of public art that was installed during that time? What was the first one that you were a part of?
Well, it was at the library.
Okay.
And Harriet Bart is the artist.
River
and-
Song.
Pardon me?
River Song Anthology, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good.
Did-
Oh.
She did the research.
A cheat sheet helps, doesn't it?
I knew I should have brought the notebook over.
Yes. And again, it was Lynette Pullman, whom I just mentioned, who directed us to Harriet Bart. Harriet Bart had done installations at Iowa State University. And she's a friend of Lynette Pullman's. She stayed with me when she was here in Fort Dodge, so I continue to hear from her occasionally, and she continues to create art in Minneapolis and other places. But the installation at the library was our first public art, and as you may know, it consists of several parts to that installation. And my favorite part is still the golden brow over the library door.
Oh, yeah. I always think of the stack of books part.
Well, the
but
stack of books is important, as is the word poem that goes around the exterior near the entrance. But yes, that was a big event. And then Mayor Terry Lutz welcomed that bit of public art, and it was kind of a gala opening for that first piece.
Yeah. Incredible.
I'm going to have to go walk around the library now. I'm not from Fort Dodge. That's my defense. And I've only been to the library twice, and once here in town, once was with you.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Yep. Shelly culturing me about Fort Dodge. So that's really interesting. I'm going to have to go take a good look at those now.
Yeah.
Please do.
Yeah. This foundation has definitely played a huge part in pretty much all of the public art that we have here in Fort Dodge, for sure. So, okay, one more thing about you individually, and then we're going to dig into the meat. But I'm going to start with you this time. What was it? Something growing up? Were you artistic? Were your interests in art? Public art seems to be one of your maybe.
I love
passions.
art. I love art, not just public art. I love
visual arts.
I love visual art. So when I moved to Fort Dodge, the Blandon was the first place I visited, and so my interest is visual art and the arts in a broader sense.
Sure.
And
were you
and
involved?
even broader than that, just beauty,
Right.
music, visual arts, beauty,
Were
flowers.
you musical, or are you musical or artistic?
Neither.
Okay.
I
Appreciators are just as important.
That's right. I'm a woman who loves opera, who loves art museums. Yeah, it's just who I am, but I have not your talent.
Well, I feel like you might be a closeted karaoke person or something. I don't know. I'm just kidding, Jane. How about you?
I mean, I liked art in high school. I was in choir and band and all of those things.
What did you play in band?
Yes, that's.
The alto and tenor sax.
Okay,
Jazz
yep.
band. Yeah. Did those things. And then just didn't pursue that afterwards. So I've always joked that I could always, pop on the stage at Iowa Central. And then I'm like, nobody wants to hear that. I would have to fake it. And that would have to take some practice. So, and then my sister and I do a lot of arts and crafts types of stuff. Just that kind of creative outlet to keep us busy. And, especially during COVID, we had to do things together, and we would do little painting parties. My family's done little Bob Ross painting nights.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
And found out that none of us are Bob Ross, but boy, you interpret his directions differently. So.
They all had wigs.
What?
They all wore the wig.
It was the whole thing. It was.
You have the little squirrel.
Yeah.
Didn't he have
we
a
tried
squirrel?
doing the wave. We started with mountains. We did the wave, and then I decided I couldn't do the wave, so my ocean is calm.
Okay, there you go.
My mom is
All
very
right.
disappointed in my.
Interpret.
They were watching a video, like a
Yeah,
paint-by-paint
yeah.
I was
video.
like, no, I'm taking out the wave. I don't just paint over that.
It's so crazy
So
watching
I'm-
him do that, and it seems so easy. It's
It's
not.
not.
It's
No,
not.
it's not. Oh, that's fun. So both well, not mostly, but now mostly visual supporters or that sort of thing. Yeah. I will say that I, in the music department at Iowa Central, see Mrs. Jennifer Condon at most every single concert.
Oh, nice.
She is
I do enjoy it, yeah.
She is a great audience member.
I'm excited to see you at one of the local jam nights here in town.
Oh, with her saxophone.
You never know. I did hear somebody went up with a saxophone
I'll
not
have
too
to
long
do a
ago.
pre-recording in my pocket
Just play it.
and just move. Just move with the music.
It's like, that sounds a lot like Kenny G.
That's great.
Jenny J is coming to Jenny C.
Right?
Oh, fun.
So we like to quickly mention the other board members, supporters of the organization. Do you want me to pull them up, or you feel like you can remember? Okay.
Nice.
So Maureen Merrill is a long-term member. Actually worked at the bank where our foundation would meet, and she was the bank's employee for a while, and then she joined the board as a member.
Okay.
Rhonda Chambers, long-term member. Peg Trevino has been on there quite a while. Kyle Sandy joined when I did, or a year before me.
Okay.
2016, I came on in April of 2017. And then most recently, we have Megan Secor and Carissa Harvey.
Okay.
Nice.
Good
We're
picks.
onboarding some new people.
Are you?
Yes.
Nice. Is that
I don't
Break-
believe
I better make it a secret for now.
Okay. Dang it. Because it's not an application process.
No, it's
these are very different when it comes. There's a certain set of skills
There is.
that you're looking for with this.
interesting?
So we're going to just skirt right around that one because I selfishly have a lot of questions.
All right.
But I'm not going to ask them right now. So let's talk about where we are.
Sure.
We are. Tell us a little bit of history about what you know about this beautiful Vincent House. Yeah. We know that Catherine grew up here.
Correct.
okay?
And that's really all I know about the Vincent House.
Yeah.
Then she married and moved out to California, came back, and then they lived in the Deardorf House.
Which is right across the street from the Blandon.
So,
Right.
so it's
Okay.
right over
Which
there.
Mrs. Deardorf always referred to as the Roberts house
Yes.
because it had belonged to her aunt and uncle, whose last name was Roberts. So
Okay.
to her, it was the Roberts house. To us, it's often the Deardorf house.
Okay. And they eventually that house was gifted to the Blandon, like the Blandon Foundation, right? Because the way I read it online, it was gifted to the Blandon along with some
but
maintenance fees.
It was gifted by the Deardorf Foundation,
Okay,
though.
okay, that's
She
what-
left it as part of her estate to come to the foundation.
Okay.
She left her house and $350,000 for its maintenance.
Okay. Oh,
We found that having overseeing the house, having someone residing in it was a whole different challenge than managing the foundation and the funds and making the grants, and that it was not a fit for us. And so we had to go to court, of course, to have permission to gift it rather to the Blandon, which is what we did.
Okay.
Subsequently, the Blandon also found that it was a problem for them to have a house, so they sold it.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's a lot. I mean, you bring up a good point. You're almost like landlords, too, at that point, which is like.
That's right.
I know you
That's-
think of utilities and
I mean,
all
I
the-
was choosing wallpaper for an upstairs bathroom. I mean, it was.
So it's like two jobs instead of one.
Exactly.
Two completely different jobs.
Exactly.
Okay. Wow.
This space is still used for various purposes: showers, receptions, graduation parties, weddings, things like that. So it is still available for the community to utilize this space. I remember coming. I grew up in Webster City, and I remember coming here for piano contests. And those doors, I mean, those doors are huge, but they seemed ginormous when I was 7, and had to walk over that. It was the longest walk to that piano, and the judges sat. So yeah, this is definitely a treasure in our
We may
community.
be confusing your audience by talking about two houses.
Okay.
It was the Deardorf house that was gifted to the
Yes,
Blandon.
yeah, Yep.
This
yeah.
house is the Vincent House.
Correct.
This is where Mrs. Deardorf grew up with her sister, her younger sister, I believe. In this house, there is the plaque on the third floor that shows where her grandfather and two other prominent men, one of one was Mr. Ringland of the Smeltzer family,
Yeah.
developed drywall, essentially, from
Yes.
gypsum.
Yep.
And made their fortune.
Yep. Wow. Yep. I know.
That's so crazy.
Isn't it crazy? Bill Griffel talked about that a little bit in our Smeltzer podcast.
Yeah. I was wondering how I
well.
remembered hearing a little bit about that.
Because there's essentially a ballroom upstairs, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Just like the other one.
Fun.
But anyway, what was Catherine like? We've heard a lot of Ann Smeltzer stories. I would love to hear some Catherine Deardorf stories.
Well, I have none. But when I read through articles about her, the word grand stuck with me. To be described as a grand person, that just means something completely different. And I'm like, wow, do I know any grand people?
Yeah, that's an adjective that's special for a person.
For a special, yes. And so it just reinforced how much she continues to give to the community and how important her family was. She owned the Messenger for a while.
Yeah.
She did lots of other outlets.
Social editor for the Messenger,
Yeah.
which I think is a fun title.
And so just to be known as that in an article, it's not like you're writing your own obituary or anything and you want to plug in all the good words. So, she just must have had that presence in the community to be recognized as that.
Sure. How about for you with Catherine? Because you probably, you knew her.
I've met her, but I didn't know her.
Okay.
And I think it's a relatively few people who may have known her.
She passed away
she
in
was,
93, correct? Ish?
94.
Okay, 94. Okay.
94. She was elegant, well-spoken, I would say very intentional in all she did. She was well-educated. Radcliffe and Columbia, graduate of Columbia University School of Journalism. She'd lived in San Diego for years. She was a sophisticated woman, and in that regard, well, I think her sophistication set her apart from many people here, from many of us.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a life to live right there. And it's, I keep thinking, for some reason, I keep thinking probably like it was with Ann Smeltzer. I keep thinking this is such an older story than it is, and it's actually more close to now than in my brain it seems like.
I know.
That's crazy.
When I was looking up a little bit about her too, and I was talking about the 80s and 90s, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
In my brain, this was
it seems
much
like,
earlier than that.
I think maybe the house is influencing how I'm
Sure.
thinking about it too.
Yeah, sure. How about the foundation being set up? Because this foundation not only supports the arts in general, libraries, nature, heritage. There are several components to this foundation. Were you involved with the setup of any? You're like, yes, I was. All of it.
Yes.
So. You don't need to walk us through the process, but just share with us a little bit about how that panned out.
As I mentioned, I took Mrs. Deardorf's place on the board, and initially, as we responded to grant requests, we largely funded things that we thought she would have chosen to fund.
Sure.
That's trying to read somebody else's mind, but others on the board knew her better than I, and for a number of years. The arts were certainly central to her interest, the Blandons specifically. So that was easy. And then again, other members who knew her better just said, yeah, she would have liked this and would have wanted to support this. Is that responsive?
Yeah. So that's how some of the other components came to be a part of it.
Well, as a board changed, our direction broadened.
Okay.
Because quite frankly, we didn't have enough going on in the arts.
I can't imagine that was ever a thing.
It was a different time. Yes.
Yeah.
There was not enough going on just to provide funds just to the arts. And there were lots of other needs. Library comes to mind, which I think, Jennifer maybe can correct me, I think it's still the largest sum we've ever given to one entity for one project. And that's building the new library, which we helped fund over 3 years. We couldn't just give all of our money for that.
Right.
But that is one example. And again, I'm sure Mrs. Deardorf would have been happy with that. But
Yeah. And some of this information that I'm referencing is from the website, so you can let me know if this has changed or inaccurate. Because I know we're all volunteers, so then doing things like website maintenance can occasionally be tedious.
Yes.
But nature and heritage is something that is listed on the website. So what were some examples of in the early stages that those were introduced?
I don't know whether it was in the very early stages that we did much, but at some point we kind of stopped creating our own projects and we started funding other people's projects. So signage for nature trails and more recently just art for the Matt Cosgrove Riverside
Discovery Center.
To help fulfill other people's projects by funding the art within them, and some of those are in natural settings. And did we help with funding for Winoki and some other? I can't remember. Sometimes I've requested.
Well, it's been a lot of projects, so I don't blame you.
I was not there with Camp Winoki in its renovation, but
Okay.
the instruments that are out at Kennedy Lake for the children's
Soundscape.
playground. So we kind of that feeds our soul because it's artsy and it's nature, right?
Okay.
It kind of brings the two together in that environment. So,
Okay, that makes sense.
Good example.
yeah, those kinds of examples is. I mean, we don't go pave trails. We don't, hire somebody to mow.
Have a
somewhere.
a field somewhere you're farming.
In
any of that.
Heritage, we are supporting the updating and some, I want to call it safety, but Oak Hill Cemetery, the historical part of it. Catherine is buried out there, and some of those structures are deteriorating. So we would support like an architect, research like what would it take to fix it.
Oh, sure.
And that we're willing to help fix it because we know that's not a priority on a city budget.
Right.
Even though it's city owned. So
And
that
there
would
is
be
maintenance.
Yep.
for
And that would
things
be the
like that.
history and it's tied to Catherine. So finding those connections would be our invisible contributions outside of the public art.
I would say many of the contributions are invisible
Yeah.
because they fund other people's other entities' projects.
You mentioned Oakland Cemetery, and if I'm not mistaken, my sister was Catherine Vincent Deardorf several times in the Oakland Cemetery walk.
Oh, fun.
I'm fairly certain she would have wanted to at some point, portrayed her for sure.
I've heard those are really fun. My mom came down to one because she read about it in the paper, and she's like, it was a blast.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to go check one out now.
I know. Well, I don't even. Are they doing it this summer? We need to find out more.
We're going to have to find out more.
We need to find. Stay tuned.
Episode 24.
Yeah, the Oakland Cemetery Walk. I need to ask about something that you mentioned where you started to fund other people's projects and kind of partner with different entities. So what were the projects that were solely funded by the Deardorf Foundation?
Well, the library project that I just mentioned.
Yeah, that was okay.
We initiated, we did all of the contact with the artist. We met with city officials to get permission to do it. So that is quite demanding, quite frankly. Takes a lot of time and energy. Soon after that, we made known we wanted to collaborate.
I think the Cabinet of Obsolescence was the last project that
At the middle school?
the foundation commissioned.
Okay.
And that was when I was coming on board, and all I heard was, we
Not doing this
we are not. That's a lot. It's just a lot of
is.
a demand, on people out of their expertise, and to do all that research and coordination and getting the artist here. And
Sure.
So Judy Perkins was on the board then, and and loved it, but that was just not
Those
our
artists were from
responsibility.
California, and again, they've been recommended to us, but it's quite demanding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think about like the process of it all. Which, like as a board, you got to be like, should we do this? It sounds good. Let's ask everybody else. Hey, public, would you like this? Yeah, sure. Okay, let's ask the city if they're okay. And then it's just such a
Snowballs.
it's a lot more work than just being like we put something up or we built a thing
right.
or we helped somebody. It's
Indeed.
You can't just cut a check and hand it and be like, it's done.
I'm going back to imagining you picking out wallpaper.
Yeah.
In that bedroom. They're like, I don't live here, but I'm gonna I'm gonna pick this out.
And I did it. Yeah.
So it's grants are available for nonprofit entities.
Correct.
In Webster County, or is this Fort Dodge only? This is Webster.
501c3.
Yes, 501c3 nonprofits.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Webster County.
Okay, it is county-wide. Let's see. I want to talk about some of the other projects. I want to list some of those because there's a ton that I think people don't realize, and I want to be careful. I may have to have you edit this. I need to be careful how I say this, but there's this small population that I feel like doesn't understand when something new public art-wise is erected in our community. There's misinformation or misunderstanding that money should have been utilized to fix the roads,
Yeah, I was
for
just gonna say
example.
fill a pothole.
Or something totally unrelated to what that is for. So this is one of the entities that provides that money solely for that purpose,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, I would definitely say a lot of it is they just don't know.
Right.
I mean, like I went to school and had to like learn how to do some of this stuff, and, but like stuff is in buckets for a reason, and if stuff has like the name grant on it, it has to have a lot of paperwork to make sure it went to exactly what they said the money was going to go to, et cetera.
Right.
So you can't just cut some of the money out, fix a pothole. It's not that easy.
Right.
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 So, like the Floyd of Rosedale, the silo, of course, was a huge contribution made by both entities. I'm trying to think.
Parade.
Yep.
Which also, again, is one of those where like, well, why did the city buy that? Well, they didn't. The city
We
does
did.
have to put up, the base, and there's, that matching kind of component there, but very minimal on the grand scale of the project. And maintenance is minor.
Minimal to
Yeah.
that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
The only ones that I can think of maintenance, which were just completed by the Public Art Commission, were the library sculpture, like the Carl King sculpture in the
bronze sculptures.
library. Bronze needs to be polished from time to time.
Bronze
It-
disease.
It would be good for parade. It would be good for the sculpture at the hospital also.
Oh, yes.
To be waxed.
Stargate 6 is what they
cleaned
call
and
the
waxed.
hospital. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's definitely on the to-do list also. The airport tile mural, that
That's
was
cool.
also another.
I was out there when they had the Denver flight come in for the first time, and I hadn't seen that mural in so long that I when I was looking, I was like, this is so cool, and I even took a little video of it and stuff. It was really neat.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is cool. We also have a painted piano out there by Jennifer Dutcher, which is pretty awesome too. So
should've
we
walked
have a
ar- I
very artsy airport.
I should have walked around a little more.
As far as small airports go, it's competitive with the art that it has and displays. When you go to Chicago, you walk through
Tunnels of it. Yeah.
tunnels of art, right?
Yeah.
And
Well, it's
small
our
airports
tunnel.
just don't emphasize that welcoming environment, but Fort Dodge really has that going on.
Yeah, it's a fun little airport.
And the
I really
sculptures
like
at
it.
the entrance.
Yes.
The signage.
I can't remember what that's called. There is a name for it, but I don't
What's
have
really
that.
funny is I ran into some of the airport people, and I was like, I like the way the signs lit up now. And they said the lights at that time, they were non-functioning, so they were lit up all like weird colored. And I was like, this looks really cool. It's all rainbow colored. Like, how did you do that? And like,
We didn't want to.
they didn't want to, but it was accidental art, like it made more art. It was really cool. I don't know. So, but yeah, they got it's I don't know.
Well, you don't know.
I
Yeah.
didn't know. But it was neat. I liked it.
Yeah.
Accidentally, they didn't know somebody was going to like it. And they did.
And that piece they end up using for their logo, their renovated.
Oh,
updated
that's
logo.
right.
Yep.
That's right,
So
they
it's kind of
did.
2 for 1.
That's
Worked out nice.
cool.
Yeah.
And then Axiom and DNA out at Iowa Central, of course.
Right.
And more. I mean,
Yep. The new sculpture outside of the Center for Performing Arts
Yes.
was funded by
I love that one.
Okay.
That's a Tim Adams piece from Webster City.
It's fun because now that you're mentioning a lot of these, I'm like, oh yeah, there's that one too, and there's that one too, and I keep thinking to myself, since I'm not from here, I'm not going to know as many of them. But as you
But you
say
do.
them, I do, and it's wild. That's crazy.
And when Iowa Central has asked Deardorf for funds, I believe, my experience at least, Deardorf has said, we would like to provide art for your buildings, not to help construct the buildings. And so the college or personnel there have chosen the artists and the art itself, but we've directed funds for the art.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. This also we're spending a lot of time on visual arts, which makes sense. But the Deardorf Foundation also touches the performing arts just as significantly. Stage door productions. We have 122 kids in our show this summer.
Crazy.
And I know.
Wonderful.
And we can the kids don't pay anything. They pay nothing to be a part of that experience. And they, it's 6-year-olds all the way up to 17-year-olds. So the older kids learn a lot of patience and empathy and leadership, and the younger ones learn a lot from what is theater and what am I doing here and do I like this? And so stage door for sure. Commedia Musica players, that's another one that could not do what they do without the support of this foundation. Hawkeye Theater as well. I imagine the symphony is on
Yes.
there too. So
Wow.
it's endless, really.
That's wild.
Do you have a number that you brag? Like not that's set, but that you can say, gosh, this year we gave, or annually we
I
average
can
about.
tell
Or
you that
in
by the
total?
end of
Yeah,
this
or
year,
in total, yeah.
we will have gifted $12 million to
Oh,
That's since the
since it started.
since the
But
yeah,
that's,
since the
but that's
inception.
still
We are on track to hit $12
amazing
million.
number.
and these entities that I mentioned, they're not solely funded by Deardorf. They pay a portion of the support for those. So yes, $12 million. I'm just imagining in my head how many different projects annually that could have even kissed.
Yeah.
What is the year that the foundation was established?
1993.
Okay, maybe that's where I got 1993.
Yep.
And then
Okay.
she died the following year.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow. When you start to break that down annually, that's a good hunk of money there.
Break it down for us, Peter. What is that average?
It's about $400,000 a year. Not always, but depends on our portfolio. And
Yeah.
The Deardorf Foundation, as a 501c3, is required to pay 5% of its profits, so to speak.
Okay.
So obviously that's the way it's handled. The foundation pays taxes every year, called a 990 PF is filed, and those figures then become the basis for how much will be available to be gifted. So it's based on the previous year.
Okay.
And there's a penalty if you don't give enough away,
Yeah.
because we're required
yeah.
Okay.
to give that away. So we tried to overgive a little bit so we have a cushion.
Yeah.
Because one of our rules is if you request a grant and the project doesn't happen for
Oh,
any number
yeah.
of reasons,
Yeah.
that the money comes back. Because, again, we'll fund it next time,
Right.
but we can give it to somebody else who's in need.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I mean, weather,
yes.
planning, hiccups. I mean,
Yep.
I've never had one that didn't happen. So I don't know what those things
Right.
would be.
Or it just comes in way
But-
under budget, or, there could just be
End up not
another
having-
grant came through.
or didn't. And
That's
it just,
right.
the whole thing got,
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, it's a lot of steps involved. There, like you said, something could just go awry, and
Right.
next year,
Right.
next year.
Right. And I think that that's one of the misconceptions just from being out in the wild, is that anybody can apply for these grants, and it can be businesses that can apply for these grants, and that's just not the case.
No. I mean, we do get requests, and we're like, nope.
Oh, people still apply?
Oh, they
even
still
though
apply.
it says
It
right
says,
there?
yes.
And you have to provide your
And we have to-
501c3
we
certificate?
Verify, we go online and verify that they're still active, and it's
Wild.
I mean, maybe they won't notice. It's like Menards.
Sorry, they just caught a stray on that one.
or sometimes they'll be out of Webster County, and they'll
Okay.
try to find a connection, and we're like, or people will want to travel for a cultural experience. And we're
Sure.
like, well, but that's not
It's
the
not
cultural
here.
experience here, and
Here.
trying to bring that here is different. So just
Right.
trying to stay on track with, again, providing it for Webster County.
For 501c3s in Webster County.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
because I could see somebody from an outside county being like, well, we have youth from Webster County that are involved,
Right.
but that's just a different,
Right.
that's a different game.
Wild.
I know. My favorite thing about Peter is all of these just blow his mind.
It's funny. It always happens like half an hour in. We're about halfway done. I'm just like, I never thought about half of this stuff. This is a lot deeper than I thought it was.
What project for each of you are you... I want to say the word most proud of, but we can interchange that with memorable, and it can be either way. I know it's hard because then you're leaving something out. I get it. You have to. But.
Well, I think the most visual one is the silo. It's just the biggest, most visited. Has that mark in Fort Dodge. And if you go up 169, you drive through Mankato, and you see the silos up there,
Yep.
to know that we're part of that.
And to know that our artist came from Australia to do it.
Yeah.
And just became a part of the community during the time
He
was
really
here.
did.
He
He
did.
really
did.
did.
It was
And you can't miss that
Wonderful.
piece unless you never come in through town that way. But
Right.
the other pieces are just smaller. You can drive by them and never see parade.
Right.
If you're never looking, you would not see parade.
That's
Unless
true.
you drive straight at it, and then you
Yeah.
could recognize what it resembles. So I think that's the most visual. It was fun for me to be with the Center for Performing Arts and work with Tim
Yeah.
on kind of a vision on what that piece would need to be, just to kind of pull that together.
Yeah.
So that was more direct, interaction with me. So
Yeah.
that was fun.
That is fun. And he's a crazy cat.
Yeah, he's easy going.
And for me, I think it wouldn't be just public art, but rather the library itself.
Yeah.
We had a bond issue which failed, and so we and this is a large number of people had to come up with another plan, and part of that one suggestion was to remodel the Carnegie Library. And finally, someone stepped forward to say, let's build a new library, let's build it on the city square, let's have fundraiser, let's hire an architect. And then we still had to present it to the public
Yeah.
for additional funds, but we had raised funds by that time, and the Deardorf was able to help substantially to get those private funds to a reasonable level. So
That's a lot of work.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I just feel that it was really the kickoff for a lot of positive things in our community. To know that we could work together to construct a new library was significant.
Yeah. Yeah. My one of my favorite parts about the library is it in the kids section where they have all the sticks artwork? Yeah.
Yes.
I, every time I go in there, I don't even care if I'm going to the Carl King office or whatever. I go and look at all that, all that stuff. It's a cool space.
I love it too.
And I show up every once in a while just to stand in the back when they have their summer programming. And they get a ton of kids in there. It is being utilized. Their programming, I think, is pretty fantastic. And who knew that was all thanks to the Deardorf Foundation?
Yeah, and Deardorf continues to give significant money every year for materials, for
Yeah.
books. The library has friends, and they do a great deal. The city has the building and the personnel.
Sure.
But materials
Still come from-
We help
okay.
enormously with that.
And we
Yeah.
do that for all of the libraries in Webster County. So you don't think about the Clare
Oh.
Library or the Badger Library, but they also do summer programming and will ask for activities or supplies, or they'll
Okay.
ask for a new system, a computer system,
Sure.
right, that you can't think about, and they're funded with tiny portions of either city or state,
Yeah.
budget. So,
Sliver.
Yep. So, yeah, all of those, the Dayton Library, Gowrie.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So
I never would have
you
thought
don't think
about that
those
outright.
being libraries because they're tiny rooms, tiny buildings in small communities. But those summer kids need somewhere to go to.
Of course.
Still valuable.
Absolutely, yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, pop in there. Well, next time I go in there, I'm going to pull you in with me because
right.
I just want you to. It was a magician was the last one I saw, and oh my God, he was just these kids were. He had them eaten out of his hand.
I'll still do that thing. I'll do the thing where face melts. Oh,
Yeah, you'll
He
be
pulls
just
a
as
quarter.
excited about the magician.
I'll be sitting there with the kids.
And one of the most exciting parts for me when I was first on the board was we had not given away all the money, and it was December.
Oh, why didn't anyone call me?
Well, that means we have to figure out what to do because we still have to give that money away.
Sure.
So we have given small grants to art teachers in all the schools in
love
Webster
it.
County, or
Yeah.
surprise gift to the libraries when they weren't asking. Now
Right.
they're more in the habit of asking every year.
Yeah,
for
the
something.
annual
But
giving.
at first they wouldn't. It would be like, here's 5,000 or 10 or
Right. One, an art teacher. Oh my
Yes.
God, that is gold.
buy the supplies that
To
you don't
receive.
have.
I was
or-
thinking that because I mean, like you can do math on a whiteboard 1,000 times, erase it 1,000 times, erase it. It's just a marker. But like art stuff, it's physical things you have to construct, and you can't just like we're reusing this for the
Right.
next class.
Yeah, paint over your painting.
Yeah, we're just gonna remelt this clay down and
I mean, I'm sure they do, but
wow.
what are some of the things? And I'm not looking for behind the scenes tidbits, but what are the things that you think overall that the board continues to look for? Like what a project would have to lay in front of you, and what would you look for to be like, this is worthy of this money? Or not, or this is not something we're interested. I mean, you mentioned if they're out of the county,
Sure.
or not a nonprofit, but
I mean, I think we'd really like to see more innovative, brand new things for the community.
Sure.
Like that seed money to get it started, knowing that sustaining is a challenge. But if somebody, had that idea to bring something new, just to add to the symphony schedule and Hawkeye Theater, and to add that and bring a new dynamic that met our mission.
sure,
That would be exciting to see. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
Because we don't pay for employees, we don't pay for buildings, we don't pay for rent.
yeah,
But if there is some seed money that can get a creative project off the ground,
the
that would be
ground.
fun for us to see
yeah,
and hear about.
Yeah,
We did work with Matt Cosgrove, would present things to us.
Yeah.
With the center, and that was
new.
That was new. Yeah. So those are very exciting, just because sometimes new is hard
yeah.
to get funding for.
Yeah.
If people can't see it or don't think we need it.
Well, and isn't that funny? Like you referenced, there wasn't enough to donate to, so you had to reach out and collaborate. And I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we are in a very different time from that.
Correct.
I mean, on our event calendar alone, with just our members, and there are people doing things in the community that are not our members, which is sad for me. But we, on average, there's 60 events every single month between performing arts, visual arts, literary. We consider the library and literary and authors and chefs and winemakers and brew makers and all of those things, artistic avenues. And so to a community our size to have that much, I think, is a testament to our community and these organizations such as yourselves. I think we can be really proud of that.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
The change over the period from which the Catherine Vincent Deardorf Charitable Foundation was founded in '93, it's an enormous change. There's a lot more security for organizations like Symphony that have existed far beyond that, but it just gives them financial security to have some input from Deardorf
Oh,
Foundation.
for sure. And they just finished a big season. Comedia is approaching their 50th year. I mean, we have some longevity here for
That's right.
sure.
Yeah.
What about you as far as when a grant crosses the table? What are the things that you...
I look at the numbers. Do they make sense? I mean, they're asking for a certain sum. How are they going to use it? Is this reasonable? Do they have bids themselves for where did this figure come from? Yeah. So I want to know that the numbers make sense, and that they weren't just off the top of somebody's head, just a guess.
Yeah.
And then I want to have a sense that they have thought the project through, and
All the way, yes.
And it may be a one-time kind of event. It may be something that has multiple stages. So those are the kinds of things I would look at.
Yeah. Nice. So if you are a 501c3 applying for these grants, the more detail, the better. The more
If we don't get it,
information.
we will often return it.
Right.
Because there's not enough to consider.
Right. And you don't get you don't get bullet points. This is why we did not, so it's just to have a lot of forethought, I think, when submitting those things. Okay, we're getting closer to the end, so you can start to relax a little bit. Yeah. One of the little quick fire, these aren't so quick fiery. I put a lot more thought into these today than I normally do for these.
This is one of my favorite parts of the podcast.
But one of the things I wanted to drop was a dream project if money was no object. I know. Scary.
So we're talking budgets off the table.
No, money's no object. Yeah, what would you like to see?
Is there like one big project, like you guys want to furnish a whole park with something, or are we talking about just creating something brand new?
Oh, it could be anything. It could be just, I would love to be able to solely support 55 nonprofits every single year if I could, but I cannot. I do not have that in my account. But, something like...
You look like you had an idea.
I know.
Do you mean in Fort Dodge? Or
It doesn't even have
in
to be
the
in
world.
It can be in. I'm talking in Fort Dodge.
Okay.
But if your dream is to, if there was something that called to you that you needed to do in Paris, I would be open to hearing about that. Also,
I'm often called to Paris. I don't get there, but the call is there.
Well, maybe that's the project. We'd send you to Paris for research,
Oh, there we go. All right.
and maybe nothing comes to mind, and we'll scratch this question. But
Well, I think something that frustrates me are the people that talk in town that there's nothing to do.
no,
Right?
yes,
So if there was a magic power, or if we could buy all the tickets for everyone to go to the things.
yes.
Because some things do cost money, and I can appreciate the cost of going to, some of the shows. But
Sure.
I also know that
They're also very reasonable compared to other.
you're not going to go somewhere else. And I know people travel out of town to see concerts and shows. And,
Right.
but the talent here is really special. And when you know the people on stage, that's special. And,
Yeah.
and to bring that community, to pull all those kids into that, summer program
Yeah.
is who your next adult actors are, or they'll take it where they go to.
Right.
And, just to,
Unlimited budget for awareness.
yes.
Yeah.
Or make parking more accessible around Phillips Auditorium, or
Everywhere. Parking everywhere.
Parking is hard, and I'm not going to go because of parking, and but just the awareness, like it's in your face, it's there. So at least you don't say there's nothing to do.
Right.
You can at least say, I'm too tired to do this today.
Right.
That's fine.
Right.
I get
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
there's just so much going on, and
It's
that
a
gets
lot for
lost.
people to keep track of, for
is.
sure.
Yep.
Which is why there's a community calendar on the Fort Dodge Fine Arts Association website. Go to fdfineartsassociation.org to find out more.
Click on calendar.
Yes.
But it's true. I mean, a nonprofit can spend a fortune on advertising. You could do paper and radio and social media and your website and put flyers at the grocery store on people's windshields, and you're still going to have somebody come up to you and say, I didn't know that was going on.
And people have a variety of tastes. I mean,
That's true.
I'm not a country music person,
Sure.
but I respect those who are.
Yeah.
I would love Shakespeare in the Park, and I think that the city, my understanding, and you can fill me in, that down next to the Matt Cosgrove Center, the city is building an amphitheater.
Pavilion.
Yes.
Pavilion.
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
not an amphitheater.
Correct.
Oh,
I
okay.
believe it's like a covered thing that you can go
Okay.
inside.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I had
Where there's a possibility for, you could put a stage on the end of it or something like
Yep.
that.
Okay.
You need to come follow the Iowa Central schedule for next year, because we're doing a Shakespeare play in the fall.
I'm delighted.
So
I'm delighted.
that is, maybe they can do it in the courtyard one night.
Oh, Shakespeare in the courtyard. Yes.
I'm gonna make a note.
Okay.
While you're making that note, I'm going to pontificate about how you'd mentioned, to some extent, nonprofits have to market themselves to give away money, which like for some reason like didn't make sense in my brain. It's like you're giving away money and you have like, I mean, now, like we said, it's different now than it was when it was first established, but like you had to let people know you were giving money away because you had to give it away.
Correct. We've recruited applications.
It's so crazy.
But I think we were also very humble in that we didn't require that our name be on everything. We don't. We can be a sponsor, but only if all the other sponsors have equal,
And you put that verbiage in your thing,
yeah,
too.
I mean, we don't want to be all over. We don't want to shove it in faces. But with that comes a lack of awareness of what we've done. Okay. So, a small plaque doesn't do a whole lot anyway. But,
sure.
So it maybe has gotten us where we are, that it's not as well known what we fund and, what that looks like. But hopefully this will help.
Yeah.
How about, and this, I don't know, maybe we've touched on this one, a hidden gem in our community that everyone should know about.
I got
the portobello mushroom sandwich at Bloomer's Coffee Shop.
I love it too. That's my favorite. I love the portobello sandwich.
So do I.
I was actually going to say go out to Veterans Park and that kids walk out there because the first time I went out there, I didn't even know it was there.
Yeah.
And there's a monarch caterpillar out there, I believe. Is that correct?
I think you're correct.
Yeah. And I was just like, this thing's really neat. I didn't know any of this stuff. And it's made for kids, but go figure. I'm almost 40 years old. I'm just like, this is so cool.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I think about organizations that people that, I've lived in Fort Dodge in the area about 20 years. And growing up in Webster City, I didn't know about the Carl King Band. I didn't know about the Fort Dodge Area Symphony and this new 515 Big Band, and the amount of talent that is driving from all over the state to be a part of these ensembles. I got some goosebumps.
Literal, actual goosebumps.
I think that's an example, too, of just how awesome our opportunities are here.
Right. And to have these entities is one thing. It's just a joy to go to virtually any of the kinds of performances that we've mentioned.
Yeah.
They're wonderful.
Absolutely.
The conductor of the symphony, Joshua Barlage,
yes.
I think his programming has really stepped them to a more community reachable, or more of it's broader, that I think more of the community can enjoy what they're
but
playing.
he's also moved the community forward.
Yes.
He has commissioned works that we have heard, first works, so he's broadened us. He hasn't given us just what we know and like. He's asked us to listen to other things, and we're better for it.
Yeah, I agree.
It's awesome.
How about you? Do you have something to add?
I don't know. I mean, when I think of just the nature trails that people aren't aware of and the places it takes you by and through, and how we continue to expand that and get to another community. And
I mean, we get people from all over coming for our trails, too. So, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, thanks.
Okay, tonight I have tickets to either art premiere or tickets to a new release of a live musical theater performance. Which one are you going to take? Based on that information only. The 2 tickets to the art premiere or the 2 tickets to the musical theater premiere? I know. That's all you get. I know what you're going to say, I feel like.
Well, probably, but it's a tough choice.
It is.
I feel like I would do the theater just because I didn't have that experience growing up. And so
sure.
I feel like that's a little bit more something I want to take my mom to.
Yeah.
Right, and enjoy with her, because we did not get to do that growing up. So.
Oh, fun. Okay, good answer.
Well, I would choose the art, but partially because my hearing isn't good anymore. And before I go to plays or musicals, if I can, I like to read the script, or I like to know the music. So I don't have to listen in order to understand. I just have to listen for pleasure.
Yeah, I do that.
Do you?
I went out to see Death of a Salesman and with my nephew in it, and I read the script like 3 times because I just didn't want to worry about that part of it.
Exactly.
I just wanted to stare at him.
And He was wonderful.
It's wonderful. Yes, he was. How about you? 2 tickets to the museum?
2 tickets to Paradise. Oh no, we're going to the musical theater for sure. For sure.
And I don't know what the topic is. I'll come up with that later.
I that's what I thought was if there's some art that I would really like to see in person. I've seen some fun art, but if it's just you don't know what it is and it's a blind taste test, I gotta go musical theater.
All right, I like it. This is not necessarily art related. Would you rather go on a sunrise hike or a late night reading? What would be your preference? I would be a late night reader.
I feel like I don't get up early and I don't stay up late. So is there anything at noon that's
No.
available?
Yeah, this one day.
This one day. I would probably do the reading.
Okay. Yeah. How about you?
I'm a night owl.
Are you?
Definitely. So I've missed a lifetime of sunrises, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah,
But saw tons of sunsets, so that's important.
sunset's greater than sunrise. That's my opinion as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be like, would you rather do an early morning candy bar or a late night poke in the eye with it? I'd still go late night. Like it's got to be late night. Like it doesn't matter.
So you want the late night reading?
Yeah.
Okay, last one. Paintbrush or camera? You have to utilize one or the other. Which would you pick?
Paintbrush.
Well, camera is what I do utilize, but what I wish I had the skill to utilize is the paintbrush.
Yeah.
Camera, just because I can't paint.
I mean, I'm going to say paintbrush, but camera is probably my more honest answer. I am too critical. If it doesn't look the way it's supposed to look in my mind, then I'm going to throw it away and get mad and never do it again.
So pay for your poorly drawn portraits ahead of time, ladies and gentlemen. They come out in December.
Shameless plug.
Yes.
Shameless plug. I love
I've done
it.
this a couple times.
That's hilarious. Okay, last thing, and this is for each of you personally. What legacy would you like, from your perspective, this organization to leave in the community? What would you, or your involvement with the legacy? I mean, for 30 years, that's a history. So it can be you and or the organization.
I still love the value of the invisible gifts that we give that people aren't aware of, just because it does take that invisible support. And I know that that's hard to be a legacy for that, but
Well, you said humble. I mean, that's definitely.
If it's not there, everyone's going to notice. So there's
correct.
there is
When
a
it
legacy.
disappears, we'll know,
There's
right?
a legacy
Yeah.
there. It's a
I
silent
mean, visual
legacy.
things are fun, and things you can go to and visit are great.
Yeah.
And they do last as well. But I just think that solid base for arts in the community is just really critical.
Yeah.
Well put. I guess over the years, I've just thought that, we're strengthening existing arts organizations and other entities, libraries in our counties, and that from a personal perspective, education and beauty and expanding our thinking about what art can be will make us all better. And so public art is art that people have to look at, and they can have all kinds of responses to it, and there's not a correct response. But sometimes we can educate ourselves about what a piece of art may be saying. Mm-hmm. Give it some consideration and thought. So
That's a great answer too. Yeah. Well, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to throw it to you in just a second, but I do want to thank both of you for being a part of this podcast. FDT was established to create a historical archive about our nonprofit and for-profit arts and culture organizations here in Fort Dodge. And none of us could be doing what we're doing without the help of this foundation. So thank you for your contributions
and
to
thank
it.
you, Mrs. Deardorf.
And thank you to the Catherine Deardorf. And let's keep the legacy rolling.
Yeah, I just want to say, if you found this podcast episode entertaining, and if you're listening right now, that means you liked it. Share it with somebody. Let them know that you listened to this and you thought it was entertaining. I'm sure you know somebody that would like to listen to this. So yeah, just hit the share button if you're watching, listening, whatever. Hit like, subscribe, all the good stuff. Make sure you follow Fort Dodge Fine Arts on all the social media, especially Facebook and Instagram.
Yep.
Those are the big ones. We're going to be back on the first Friday of next month with another episode. So that's going to be really great. Thank you guys very much for listening. And
thank you very much. Shine on.
Come on in, sit next to me. Tell me how you been and spill a little tea. Share a happy grin and let your mind go free. Everybody wins, keep it light and carefree. It's just a thoughtful exchange. We're engaging our brains about the arts here in town. Get the word going round. So come on in, sit next to me, and sip a little Fort Dodge tea. Fort Dodge tea, a thoughtful exchange about the arts. Thanks for dropping by.